It's true. Yes, I have been ill, very ill. But why do you think me mad? The disease has only sharpened my senses, not dulled them. I hear things in heaven, hell, and in my own head that no one else can. And it is this acute sense of hearing that drove me to madness. Or so they say. An old man across the street had never wronged me. His eye was the problem, or so I thought. It was a pale blue eye with a film over it that made it resemble that of a vulture. It haunted me day and night. It was an evil eye, and I couldn't bear it any longer. Every night, for 7 nights, I crept into his chamber while he slept. I was cautious, careful not to make a sound. The old man's room was dark, and my lantern was dim. But still, that eye, vulture eye. On the 8th night, I couldn't take it any longer. I entered his room with a heart pounding like a drum. I was a careful man, and I prided myself on my sagacity. Slowly, I opened the door. The old man stirred, but he didn't wake. I held my breath and moved like a shadow. I shone a thin ray of light upon that vulture eye, and it opened. Wide, wide open. I could feel its gaze upon me, penetrating my very soul. I couldn't stand it. The sound, it was growing louder, a rhythmic pounding like a death watch beetle in my ears. I pulled the bed over the old man, stifling the eye and the sound, but the heartbeat persisted. It grew louder and louder, echoing in my mind. It wasn't the old man's heart, it was mine. The neighbors, alerted by the noise, burst into the room. They found nothing amiss. I had succeeded, I was free. But the sound, the infernal sound of the heartbeat, it wouldn't stop. It grew louder and louder, tormenting me day and night. I confessed, raving and screaming, trying to drown out the noise, but it was futile. And the jury declared me insane. The heartbeat never stopped, even as they led me away to the asylum. It echoed in my mind, drowning out all reason. Do you hear it too? The telltale heart beating, 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 driving me to the brink of madness. I tried to silence it, but it persists, haunting my every waking moment. The old man is gone, but the sound remains. On the cold, damp confines of the asylum, the relentless beating of the heart continued to echo through my tortured mind. The doctors and attendants spoke in hushed tones, observing me with wary eyes. They deemed me a lost cause, a man consumed by the phantom sounds within his own head. I spent my days in a cell, the whitewashed walls closing in on me, suffocating like the beating of that wretched heart. It wasn't long before the whispers of other tormented souls reached my ears, sharing their own tales of madness and despair. Some spoke of imaginary visions, others of voices that never ceased. We formed a chorus of fractured minds, each struggling to find sanity in the cacophony of our own thoughts. In the asylum's dimly lit common room, I met a man who claimed to hear the distant cries of lost souls. He spoke of a realm beyond our own, where the tortured spirits of the departed mingled with the living. His eyes were wild, haunted by unseen terrors that mirrored my own. One night, as the moon cast its ghostly glow through the barred windows, we huddled together in a corner. His whispers became urgent, revealing a desperate plan to escape the asylum and find solace in the darkness beyond. With a shared madness, we concocted a plan to flee the institution. The guards, accustomed to the chaotic symphony of the asylum, paid little heed to our clandestine plotting. The night arrived, and as the clock struck midnight, we slipped through the shadows, navigating the labyrinthine corridors. The heartbeat, ever present, guided us like a macabre metronome, urging us forward into the unknown. We stumbled through the asylum's courtyard, shrouded in mist, our senses heightened by the anticipation of freedom. The distant wails of our fellow inmates mingled with the rhythmic pulsing in my ears. As we breached the asylum's boundaries, the moonlit landscape unfolded before us, revealing a desolate world untouched by the sanity we left behind. The heartbeat persisted, now synchronized with the haunting whispers of the night. With every step, the world around us seemed to warp and contort. Shadows danced at the periphery of our vision, and the air carried a weight of unseen specters. My newfound companion and I wandered into the heart of the night, driven by an unspoken understanding that only madness awaited us. The telltale heart continued its ceaseless rhythm, merging with the symphony of the Forsaken. In the darkness, where reality and delusion intertwined, we embraced the madness that had bound us together. The asylum was behind us, but the relentless beating of the heart persisted, echoing through the corridors of our fractured minds.